Shalom, shalom. I want to give our honor and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, this brother Aliyah, New Wine Congregation, right? So today we get into, man, endure the trials and tribulations, right? Because we got to endure in this truth, right? We go through trials, tribulations, right? You don't always have great days, right? Sometimes we have days that we're down. Some days we going through it, right? Sometimes we go through affliction in this thing, man. But we got to continue to endure. We got to keep pressing on, keep pressing toward the mark, right? We can't give up in this thing, even though we be going through. All right, so let's get another let's get some precepts going in this thing, right? Uh, share screen, right? And let me have it to where you can see my screen. All right, All right, let's get to it. Right, so we're gonna go to the book of Acts, chapter 14 and verse 22. It says, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom. So it says through much tribulation, right? It's just not going to be a cakewalk in this truth, right? It's not going, okay, you're going to wake up and boom, you get the kingdom. No, it says through much tribulation. So that means we're going to go through some trials, we're going to go through some tribulations, right? But we got to continue in the faith. We got to stand strong in the faith. We got to continue to have faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, no matter what comes our way, right? Because Satan wants you to give up, right? That old man wants you to give up, right? But we got to continue in the faith, right? It says that we and that we must through much tribulation, right? So you're gonna go through some tribulation, you're gonna go through some trials, right? But that's just a part of it, right? Let's go to the classic in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 2, right? All right, let's go there. It says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. So once you made that initiative that, hey, I want to serve you, how about Shem Shai? I want to keep these commandments. Hey, you got to prepare yourself. You got to prepare yourself for trials. You got to prepare yourself for tribulations, right? You got to prepare yourself for affliction, right? Because every day in this thing ain't going to be a cakewalk. Yet again, man, you're going to go through some things, right? Might be going through something on your job, might be going through something in a relationship, might be going through something here or there, whatever it may be, right? We all have our different things that we're going through, but we're still going through, and we got to continue to endure, though, even though we might, because everybody have different situations, right? We're not all going through the same thing, but it's not nothing that's rare. You're not going through something that has never happened to anybody else, right? Let's get that, right? Right. Because you might think, well, no, ain't nobody going through what I'm going through, man. Ain't nobody been through this, right? But that's not the case, right? There are some people that have been in your situation, right? But you got to continue to endure, right? You got to continue to press forward the mark, right? You can't give up in this thing. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 13. It says, there have no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. So there's no temptation out there that has never happened to anybody else. You didn't get a rare thing that just pop up in your life. No, right? But it said, but God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that you are able. So the Lord, He know your strength, right? He know what you're able to take or to deal with. Well, so He's not going to tempt you above that you are able. That means what you're capable of taking, right? So you got different people. They're capable of taking different things, right? But whatever you going through, it's not to where you're gonna be destroyed, right? The Lord knows what you're able to take and what you can't take, right? So you gotta dig a little deeper and keep having faith, right? And see this thing through. It says, but with the temptation, also make a way to escape. So the Lord, He makes a way for you to escape, right? Even in the trials and tribulations that we go through, right? We can go to a trial or tribulation or an error in our life that we might really be going through, but the Lord will make a way for you to escape those things. He'll make a way, right? You might be going through it on your job, right? And Lord will end up by you continue to do it, having faith in how about some outside, boom, the Lord bless you with a new job, right? Or you might be going through it in your marriage or something like that, but you continue in the faith, then boom, right? Your marriage starts to be it comes together. It's peace in your home, right? Because you continued in the faith, right? So ain't nothing that's uncommon that's going on in your life, right? But Lord, He gives an opportunity for you to escape these things, right? But we got to continue to in the faith, though, All right, let's go back to let's get some more precepts, man. I'm gonna go back to Acts chapter 14 real fast, and I'm gonna read that again though. It says, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith. Right? We gotta exhort each other. Right? We gotta be exhorting one another, your brother, your sister, right? Going through it. Hey, brother, you got this, brother. You got this, sister. Right? Let me get another precept. See if I can find this precept. Right? We gotta endure, and we also gotta exhort one another to endure. Right? It's Hebrews chapter 10, verse 25. It says, not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another, and so much more, and as ye see the day approaching. Right. So we you can have a brother or sister that's going through it, right? You gotta exhort them. Right? Even if you don't even know if they're going through it, right? They might not even tell you what's going on. Still give them some exhortation, right? Hey, sister, hey, brother, we gotta stay on fire. Hey, bro, we gotta keep praying. Right? We got to keep doing this. Hey, exhort your brother and sister. Right? Let's see if we get a definition of the word exhortation. Exhorting. Let's get that. Somebody will say, well, I don't know what exhorting means. Right? So it says to call to one's aside, to call someone, to address, to speak, to call upon, which may be done in a way of exhortation, entreaty, comfort, instruction. Right? We gotta comfort one another. Right? Exhort one another. Right? Even through the trials and tribulations. Right? And by us doing so, we can help other people in their trials and tribulations. Right? You might say something, man, and it kind of that brother, that sister might be was on the brink of giving up. Right? And it's something that you say, and it boom. Hey man, it lifts their spirit, right? Gets them on fire through the spirit. It says to encourage, to strengthen. Right? So we gotta strengthen each other in these things, in these trials and tribulations. Even when you done this, and it's hard to do, but sometimes you gotta muster it up. Sometimes you can really be going through it, right? But you still gotta be there for your brothers, your sisters. You gotta be there for your wife, right? Your husband, right? And you a man of the Lord, man. We go through things, man. We go through things. You know what I'm saying? It's heavy out here. You know, women do too. But I still gotta be there for my wife, right? I still gotta be able to exhort her. Still gotta be able to exhort the brothers, right? Encourage them, strengthen them. Because the strength that I got, even though I could be going through trial tribulation, my strength comes from you. How about Shemi Shah? Right? If the Lord strengthen you, you have strength. You have strength to give. You have strength to help other people. Right? In yourself. Right? But yeah, so we definitely want to continue through the trials and tribulations. Right? And you got to remember that our Lord, He went through trials and tribulations. He suffered. Right? And the servant ain't greater than the master. So we got to remember that too. You got to remember too that Yahweh Shai, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, he went through some things. He went through some wild, crazy things, right? He got beat on. He got spit on. He died for our sins. They pierced his side. Man, they did a lot. They did a lot to him, man. They did a lot to him. Part of his garments. I mean, they went crazy, right? But he had to do what he had to do. So we being his servants, who are we to say that we can't go through? Who are we to say that we can't have trials and tribulations? All right. What's precept I'm looking for? Let me see. Bear with me and find this precept. Let me see. We'll go to John, the book of John, chapter 13. That's what I want. That's what I want. John 13. Right, the book of John, chapter 13, verse 16, it says, Verily, verily, I say unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord, right? Neither he that is sent greater than he that sent him, right? So it says that the servant is not greater than his Lord, right? So we no greater than Yahweh Shem Shai. We no greater than Yahweh Shai, right? So we got to continue through our trials and our tribulations that the Lord has placed upon us, that he knows that we're able to overcome, right? But we got to continue having faith in him to overcome these things, right? And let's get another precept. Another precept. We're gonna go to 1 Peter chapter 2, and we're gonna go and start at verse 21. It says, For even hereunto were ye called, because Hamashiach also suffered for us, leaving us an example that ye should follow his steps. So he suffered for us. He led the example. He's the prime example of going through trials, tribulation, and still keeping the commandments. Right? He went through trials and tribulations and still keeping the commandments. Still was perfect. After all he went through, he still managed to maintain to be perfect. Right? And that's what we gotta see. Like, okay, boom, I'm going through right now. I'm catching hell right now. I still gotta continue keeping these commandments. I still gotta continue having faith. Even though I'm going through it, even though I'm catching hell, even though I'm in a time of affliction, I just gotta continue keeping these commandments. Because Yahweh Shai, he's the example of that. And it says that ye should follow in his steps. So we are his followers, we're his servants, and we're not greater than him. Hey, man, when you're going through, just remember that. Remember that your king, he suffered, right? For us. And that's the thing. He was perfect, but he suffered for our transgression. The stuff that we doing, not only the stuff that we did then, the stuff we doing right now. He suffered for the Israelites right now. He suffered for the Israelites then and now. And we gotta follow his steps. As in, even though we getting hit with these things, that we gotta continue keeping these commandments and have faith in him. Who did no sin, neither was guile found in his mouth. So he ain't sin, he ain't had no guile, but he suffered still. And he still kept the commandments. Right? Who when he was reviled not again. When he suffered, he threatened not, but committed himself to him that judgeth righteously. Right? We got to commit ourselves to Yahweh because Yahweh is the great judge of the whole earth. Right? We got to commit ourselves to him. Stay committed to your job. Right? And our job is to keep the commandments. Right? We got to stay committed to this. Let's get the classic. This is our mission statement right here. This is our MO. This is our main objective. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. So this is our main operative is keeping God's laws and commandments and fearing him. Even though we might go through this, even though we might go through that, even though we might get hit with this, even though we might get hit with that, we still got to be keeping these commandments. We still got to figure out about some y'all shot, even though we be going through it, man. Still got to stay 10 toes down for the Lord. Staying committed, right? Got to stay committed in this thing. Can't give up, right? You can't give up on this thing. You can't give up on this walk, man. It's definitely not easy, but you got to keep going. And the thing is, it's not easy, but you got to remember, let the Lord strengthen you. Let the Lord take care of you. Right? Let me get this precept. A lot of times when we going through it, we put a lot on ourselves. We put a lot of stress on us, right? A lot on our shoulders, right? But we gotta give it to Yahweh Shem Shai. It says, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." Right? Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest in your souls. right? For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. So it says, come to him. We have burdens, we have obstacles, we have affliction. But you come to him, and he said, I give you rest. I give you peace. I give you strength. Right? Let's go to Isaiah. Book of Isaiah 26 and verse 3. It says, thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusteth in thee. Right? So keep your mind stayed on Yahweh Shem El Shai. Trust in Yahweh Shem El Shai. He'll give you peace. Even though you could be in a war zone, right, in your life spiritually or whatever it may be, the Lord can give you peace. But your mind got to stay on him. That's being committed. That's being committed to him. Your mind staying on him. It's not straying off to the left or to the right. Right? And because you trust in the Lord, give you peace. Right? It says, trust ye in the Lord forever, for in the Lord Yahweh is everlasting strength. See, sometimes we get low, like I ain't got no strength to make it. I ain't got no strength. That's your body's strength. Get your strength from Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You're relying on your fleshly strength to push you through. That's a lot of our problems. We rely on our flesh to push us through an issue or to help us bear the issue, and not relying on Yahweh Shem Yahushua to give us strength, to lay our burdens on. Right? We look into the flesh when we look into Yahweh Shem Yahushua to strengthen us. Right? And you know the classic Philippians 4:13. Through Christ I can do all things and strengthen me. Right? The Lord strengthen you, right? It says those that trust in thee, though, but you got to be trusting the Lord. Right? You got to stay committed to the cause, right? Keeping the commandments. Right? All right, let's go to Wisdom of Solomon. Chapter 3. All right, these are precepts to remember when you catching hell, you're going through it, right? It says this Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 5 says, and having been a little chastised, it says a little chastised. It's just a little chastisement. It says, they shall be greatly rewarded, for God proved them and found them worthy for himself. So the Lord he's taking you through a proven process. A process where he's proving you. He's taking you, he's taking you where he's trying to prove you, man. Right? See if you're worthy. Right? See if you're worthy. It's like right? So the Lord, he's proving you, right, to see if you're going to be found worthy, right? So you got to continue to press forward, right? Continue having faith. Continue keeping the commandments. Stay committed. Stay committed to your duty, right? As gold in the furnace, hath he tried them and received them as a burnt offering, right? So he gonna put you in that fire. We go in that fire sometimes, man, right? And this is a thing, though. A lot of our people, they think this something. Imagine Jacob's trouble. That's really what people gonna get tried at if you still alive during that time. You really gonna be going through some trial tribulation. You really gonna be going through it. So this right here is just a prerequisite to the real deal, right? But it still said in verse 5, having been a little chastised, they shall greatly be rewarded. So it's light work, man. It's light work, even though, yeah, we saying it, you know what I'm saying, but when the Lord, he can give you strength, man, to endure these things, right? Let's go back to Sirach, chapter 2, right? It says, set thy heart aright, Sirach 2 and 2. It says, set thy heart aright and constantly endure. Constantly endure. Continually to endure, right? We got to be consistently in enduring. We got to consistently endure, man. Consistent, right? And make not haste in the time of trouble, right? Because sometimes when you're going through it, right, You might make hasty decisions. All right, man, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna do this and do this. No, sometimes we gotta sit back and let the Most High do His thing. A lot of times we be in time trouble. And it calls us to move in haste. Well, I can try this, I can try that, and not just relying on your how about Shemi Awashai. The Lord already got it figured out for you. You just gotta trust in Him. Cause we gotta remember that we're not on His time. We're not on our time. We're on His time. Right? We're on the Lord's timing, right? So we can't be making haste, right? Right? It says, cleave unto Him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. So even though you're going through these afflictions and trials, do not depart from the Lord. Don't depart from Him. Right? Continue to endure. Continue to be patient. Right? It says, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. So we got to be patient when we get changed to this lower state, man. Sometimes we get low, right? We get low, but the Lord, He can bring you back up. It's nothing for Him to do that, right? So we got to take this thing cheerfully, right? Even though it's hard to say that, but you got to try, right? Be patient. And I was changed to the lower state. Let's get another precept on this. Let's go to 2 Samuel chapter. 1 Samuel. 1 Samuel 2. Right? The book of 1 Samuel chapter 2. Right? And remember this too. This is another thing. Remember this. It says this. We're gonna go 1 Samuel 2 and 7. It says, the Lord maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and He lifted up. So just like the Lord, He can bring you low, right? Just like the Lord, He can bring you low. It's nothing for Him to lift you up. It's nothing. It says He raises up the poor out of the dust. And you can be in the dust right now, man. You can literally be down on your behind, right? And the Lord can lift you up. Nothing. It says, and lifted up the beggar from the dunghill. This the words of Yahweh. He can bring somebody up out the dust and bring them to a higher state, right? To set them among princes and to make them inherit the throne of glory, right? For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and He has set the world upon them, right? So the Lord, he done, I'm just thinking about, I'm just reading this thing. That's mighty though. But so it says, and I'm reading that part again, it says, and to make them inherit the throne of glory. What is the throne of glory? The kingdom. That's what it's all about. That's what we're trying to get to. Serving the Lord, keeping His commandments, boom, the kingdom. Because that's what, from the get-go, right? Right, from the get-go, what He told us. What He told us from the get-go, man. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28:1. It says, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all His commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations on the earth. Right? And all these blessings shall come upon thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Okay, boom. We know we didn't do that. We didn't do that. Now we got in these predicaments. Now we got hit with the curses. But now it's time to put in that word where He said, hearken diligently. Keep His commandments. Because if you do that, you're found worthy. Lord willing, you can get the kingdom. That's the blessing because in the kingdom, brother's going to be perfect. Sister's going to be perfect. They're going to receive all the blessings. They're going to be set upon high upon all the nations. They're going to have gold, jewels, all these different things. Nothing that this world can even offer you. Nobody in this world can offer you the kingdom. It's so great that, no dying, no sadness. You can't even imagine. A time, it's going to be, this is what's coming. A time period where you're going to have the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are going to be set above all the nations that have oppressed them. Every nation. All the heathens, they're going to be above them. And they're going to be serving the Israelites. That's what's coming. right? I mean, being with the Lord. It's so many things but it's us going through right now, going through the fire now, constantly enduring now, keeping the commandments now, and Lord willing, hey, we get the kingdom. That's going into what it said through much tribulation, right? So we gotta work. We gotta keep working towards this because the time is coming, right? When Deuteronomy 28, that's coming. Because when we be perfect with Yahweh seen outside, he put the laws in our inward parts and everything like that, and we're gonna have all the best. We're gonna have it all. We gonna be increased tenfold, right? Through the spirit. And through the spirit in everywhere, like finance, everything. Cattle, land, houses, everything. But it's about what you're doing right now. Right? And I want to touch back on to this, what I had read in Wisdom of Solomon, right? That joint right there, just think about that too. Right? It says, and having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. It's a great reward in our trial and tribulation. It's great reward if we continue to endure until our last breath. Strive for the truth unto death. Get that. Get this precept. It's book of Sirach, chapter 14 and verse 28. Strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. Right, says, strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. He can fight for you in the afflictions that you're going through. He can fight. He can fight for you in your trials and tribulations, right? But you gotta strive for the truth unto death. That means when it says unto death, that's like when somebody get married, they say until death do us part. So that means until death do us part, right? That means when it says until death do us part, that means throughout the process of time of life, through the affliction, through the turmoil, we still gonna be by each other's side. We still gonna love each other. We still gonna care for one another, right? What they say, unto sickness, unto death, right? That's just like this truth. We gotta continue to strive for this truth, keep these commandments unto death, and that's loving the Lord. He is our husband, right? Let's get a precept. There's a couple precepts in my mind, but I'm gonna get this right here. 1 John 5 and 3, and then I'm gonna get this other precept. It says, for this the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. So we gotta continue to love him, because we are married to the Lord through the Spirit. You understand what I'm saying, right? And if you don't know that, we get that. Right? Isaiah chapter 54 and verse 5. Isaiah 54 and 5 says, for thy maker is thine husband, the Lord of hosts is his name, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, the God of the whole earth shall he be called. Right? So it says the Lord is our maker, right? And it says, we keep reading, it says, for the Lord have called thee as a woman forsaken, right? And grieved in spirit in a wife of youth, when thou wast refused, said thy God. Right? As a woman forsaken. We got to come back to him, right? And be that wife that we need to be through the Spirit. As in being that servant, serving him, being submissive to him, keeping his commandments, having faith in him, trusting in him. He's our protector. He's our provider. That's what a husband do. We got to rely on our husband through the Spirit, right? So we can't give up in this thing. We can't give up in this walk. We're going to have trial and tribulation, but we got to keep pressing towards the mark no matter what. All right? Like Future had a song, no matter what. Hey, we got to keep these commandments no matter what. No matter what comes our way. Right? Let me go to Revelation chapter 2. It says, this Revelation chapter 2. I'm read this. It says, Revelation 2:10 says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. And that's going into Jacob's trouble, you know what I'm saying? We're going to be tried, you know what I'm saying? But think about now. You can use that for now, right? Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So even now, you know, don't wait till Jacob's trouble like, oh, now I'm going to be faithful unto death. Now I'm going to be 10 toes down for Lord. No, be faithful unto death now, because you don't even know if you're going to make it to Jacob's trouble. Hell, you don't even know if you're going to make it tonight. So be faithful unto your last breath. Keeping these commandments to your last breath. The Lord said, I'll give thee a crown of life, man. Right? It says, he that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. Right? It's a second death that's coming. Right? That's when Yahweh shall come back. Right? When Yahweh shall come, that's the second death. Right? When he's going to destroy those that are not, that's not worthy. Right? It says, he that overcometh, he shall not be hurt by a second death, man. Right? Hey. Let me get another precept too. Another precept, second Esdras. Bear with me. Let me get this precept real fast. Right? Cause we gotta remember that we in a fight, man. And we gotta keep going unto death. We gotta keep fighting unto death. Right? Right. Here it is, right here. Second Esdras chapter 7 and verse 57. Then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle, which man that is born upon the earth shall fight. So we in a whole battle, right? In a battle, sometimes in a battle, you don't just have a straight up, we just win it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you having a battle, well, sometimes you lose it. Sometimes the enemy kind of overcome you, right? They kind of taking you down, then you kind of come back, right? It's a fight, right? You got stuff going back and forth, right? You got people dying over here, people dying over there, and you dying. People, you struggling over here. You enduring, you fit over there, right? Just going. We in a battle. We in a war zone. It says, hey, this is the condition. This is how it is, right? This is how it is. But keep going. Let me go with those. Well, I just lost myself where I was at. Hold on. See what I was just at. Okay. Now when you go down, it says verse 58 says that if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said. So you let the demons, the flesh overcome you, you're gonna suffer. You're gonna suffer. You let this world take you out, you're gonna suffer. Right? We gotta, that's just how it is, man. If you want to lay down and take that L, you want to give up, hey, your latter end is suffering. The Lord, he's not looking for weak warriors. He's looking for those that's going, hey, we in this thing, hey, we enduring. Because we get overcame, we gonna suffer. But if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing I say. Right? So let's go to and yeah, I don't appreciate what I was going to, yeah. Right, let's go here. No, 2 Timothy. Let me get this precept. Bear with me and get this precept in this book in 2 Timothy chapter 2, right? So we're gonna go to 2 Timothy chapter 2. Oh, screen ain't showing, my bad. So it says 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 3, it says, thou therefore endure hardness. Right? So we gotta endure hardness. We gotta endure, man. We gotta endure hardness, man. We gotta endure hardness. Let's go to that. See, endure hardness. Right? To suffer, endure evil, hardships, troubles, to be afflicted. And we gotta endure hardships, we gotta endure troubles, we gotta endure afflictions, man. We gotta endure, right? And guess what? Keep going, endure. Right? Like we talking to brothers, you know what I'm saying? We check on each other, like, man, what's going on? How you doing, man? I'm enduring. You know what I'm saying? I'm enduring. Cause that's what we doing. We endure, we keep going. We keep pressing towards the mark. That's what we gotta do. We gotta endure hardness. We gotta endure the affliction, tribulation. We gotta endure this life. It says, no man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this life. Sometimes when you get the stuff that's going on in this world, bro, if you let it get to you, bro, it can mess your mind up. Because you're not thinking about the battle. You're thinking about all the stuff that's going on in the world. You know what I'm saying? Thinking about damn pills, thinking about this, you thinking about that. You know what I'm saying? Your mind is cloudy. Your judgment is cloudy because you distracted. You at war and you distracted by the affairs of this life. Think about that. Think about, you in the battlefield, right? You got your sword, you got your shield, right? You got the enemy right in front of you. But the whole time you got the enemy coming at you, right? And you up here thinking about this thing, the damn car note, man. Thinking that or dang, my wife, man, she been tripping, man, or man, this whatever it might be that you're going through, whatever it might be. You thinking about this, you're not focused on the enemy. You're not focused on the battle. You're not focused on what's ahead of you. Right? So we can't lose focus in the affairs of this life, right? We got to keep going, keep fighting. It says that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. Right? So the Lord has chosen you to be a soldier. He's chosen you to go to war. Right? You gotta constantly endure the battle. You gotta get the victory. Right? You gotta praying that you find you trying to fight to get that victory, hoping that you get the victory. Right? So let me get another precept. Then I'm gonna close out, man. What I was gonna go to? Get a closing precept, man. I'm tripping. Closing precept. Then I'm gonna go ahead. Go on about my business. All right. So this is the book of Psalms, chapter 50 and verse 22. It says, now consider this, that it said, ye that forget God, lest I tear you in pieces, and there be none to deliver. Right? So do not forget the Lord. Do not forget the Lord at all. Do not forget him. And that's going back into the world. That's giving up. That's losing faith. Right? He said, lest I tell you in pieces, the Lord will literally tell you into pieces. He'll take you out. But with that, man, We want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. And I just encourage brothers and sisters to endure the trials and the afflictions and the tribulations, right? Endure, endure, endure. Don't give up in this fight, right? But with that, shalom.